Welcome to the Everlasting Fruition podcast. My name is Ashley Madeline,
And I'm Alexandra.
and this is our very first episode officially.
Mhm.
How are you feeling?
Oh, great. I'm excited.
I'm glad. I feel a lot of different emotions right now. It's like excitement because this is like so long overdue. And I had a lot of people that were just waiting for me to just finally drop the podcast. So I finally drop it, and it's just like, why am I nervous? It's like, it should be exciting. It should be,
Yeah.
but I'm
It's
also
new.
nervous. It's new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're going to, with time, we're not going anywhere. So
Yeah.
you'll find your groove. But I understand if it's something that's been sitting in your heart for years to now be in it, to just be like, whoa.
Whoa, this is like a new...
but you can choose what the whoa means.
Yeah.
If the whoa is like, oh my gosh, I'm nervous.
Yeah.
Or whoa, this is just new. And I'm going to feel my way through it.
I love that perspective. I didn't even think of it that way.
Yeah.
As far as I can change the whoa, because I'm definitely in a whoa of just overwhelming. It's so many different emotions, but I can choose to put a magnifying on. I know for sure I feel gratitude.
Yeah.
I feel so thankful for my lovely co-host, Alex.
Thank you. And likewise.
Yeah.
I think it's just a new journey, a new experience for both of us.
Yeah.
And we're excited to have you all, the listeners, to talk to, because this is going to be like a girls club. The guys can come too. Don't get me wrong. The guys can come. But this is just a sacred space, a community that we have within each other that we want to extend and overpour out to everyone else. And we're just really excited just to be here to talk through the different seasons that we're in, and just to be real about womanhood and the journey, and really to just kick this off. I think of the seasons that we're in right now. So even wanted to ask you, where are you right now?
Yeah.
Beyond the whoa.
Yeah. Beyond the
personal
whoa.
life.
Yes. Personally, I feel like I'm in a pruning season. I feel like I'm going through setting boundaries.
Okay.
And I know that word is people are scared to set boundaries. I'm definitely one of them for sure. I had to do some research actually, because sometimes for me, the way that I process things, I have to understand it and what it means. I look up the definition of words these days because I'm like, this word means this. And so for boundaries, setting a boundary is a limit, right? I think, let me look it up just to be sure. But it was like setting a limit.
Yeah.
And there's different pockets of that. So setting a limit when it comes to your time, your energy, your effort, what you're pouring into. And
resources.
Yes. And I struggled with that for so long. And I think it was just a childhood conditioning thing with my parents, my mom. And then it rolled over to me, doing that for my siblings, being that the one that always, the caretaker. It was like a caretaker role, if that makes sense.
And it comes with sacrifice, I'm assuming.
100%.
Yeah.
Because it took a lot of my childhood. A lot of my siblings will tell you today that I actually raised me, but do you know how much that took from me?
Yeah, because you were a kid raising kids.
Absolutely. Yeah. But it came from my mom being the authoritative figure and me having to respect what she said. So there was no telling my mom no. There was no, hey, actually, I can't do this chore at this time. Actually, let's reschedule that for another, you know what I mean?
These are my kids, so can you?
These are not, you, no.
I get that. Yeah. Especially being from the South, I feel like there's this kids are better seen than heard. Or even when you're just advocating for yourself, it can come off as disrespectful.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, I'm sorry, I thought I was a human too.
Absolutely.
But I feel like sometimes people forget that children are just little humans, right? They're just smaller humans.
Yeah.
And the goal is to teach them how to become adults, which adults, let's be real, a lot of people just grow old, but I feel like the real, when you become a real adult, it's when you're emotionally mature.
Ooh, that's good.
And in order to be emotionally mature, you have to learn how to set boundaries, not just to protect yourself, but to maintain and sustain healthy relationships.
That's good.
Because it's a tool within there.
It reminds me of when parents say, stop crying before I give you something to cry about. And it's just like, or the best one, it's like, fix your face. After you just got slapped, it's like, fix your face.
I'm sorry,
you're just like,
I'm crying.
I'm crying.
I remember that as a kid. And I'm trying to get it together, but it's just like, I was just slapped.
That is so horrifying. Now that we think about it, it's just like, well, you just literally slapped the crap out of me, and now you're just like... That is so funny.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh.
It's not.
It's not.
But yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
And how that turns into lack of boundaries in adults is wild.
Yeah.
But
Because how you do one thing is how you do
Yes.
everything. And if your parental figure taught you like, hey, it's not okay to have boundaries. It's not, especially not with me. And then reinforces it like you can't have boundaries with your siblings.
Yeah.
Then it'll just trickle down into, or it could potentially trickle down into your romantic relationships or even your platonic friendships and things like that. Because if you've never worked that muscle, because I think boundaries, I always think of them as like working a muscle.
That's so good.
If you have no experience in doing that, then you're going to just be out here boundaryless. And then
exhausted.
that breeds resentment.
Resentment.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. And then I feel it in my body. And that's another thing. Your body keeps score. Your body will set the boundary before you decide to set that boundary, literally. And I feel like it's imperative to listen to those subtle whispers. You make it a migraine. You make it, that's your body telling you, hey, slow down.
Yeah.
I can't be ripping and running. You need to hydrate. You need to nourish.
Yeah.
And then
know your limits.
Yes. And then when it starts to get into these other diseases, like
PCOS.
Exactly.
Yeah. Or even like as women, sometimes like hair loss, like we'll see it physically. And that's why I say it is, as a woman, I feel like a lot of times, and I hate to say it, but I feel like once it starts to impact our appearance, like you get more pimples, things like that happen, that's when we're like, okay. And if you actually understand it, then you'll cure the actual source, the root of the issue. Instead of like putting a pimple pouch over it. That can be done too.
I love that.
But when you really realize like, wow, I didn't respect my boundary. And now I'm stressed. Now I'm overwhelmed. But I think it goes back to knowing yourself, because with boundaries, everyone has their own limit. So something that could bother me would be like, oh, Alex, relax. You could be like, it's not that big of a deal. And then something that bothers you, I'd be like, oh my gosh, Ashley, like, let's take a chill pill. But like, we get to decide our own boundaries. And I think that's the beauty of relationship in general, because once you determine self, what's my boundary, how I feel, then you can teach other people how to treat you and how to be in a relationship with you. Because like, I feel like it's so hard when you go into a relationship and you expect that person to just know, because we come from different walks of life. We have different cultures, different societies, all those things where, it can impact the way you show up. Like you could have been raised by a parent that was just like, speak your mind, be free, this is an equal playing ground. And then I could have a parent that's like, girl, I'm your parent.
I dare you to say.
I don't want to hear anything from you. So then you come into a relationship free and open, like, hi, this bothered me.
Absolutely.
And then that person's like, keep that to yourself. Like, I've been taught to keep everything in. But if you don't express, and then also understanding that your childhood is not an excuse, which a lot is funny, because I feel like boundaries and the lack thereof, or the lack thereof and having them usually are rooted in childhood. But as adults, we have to determine how we're going to move forward in our adult lives with our relationships.
Usually it's the guilt for me. The guilt when you say no. I'm just like, oh my gosh, what did I just do? I just ruined their lives. And they asked me for $20. And I'm like, I just ruined their entire lives because I didn't give it to them. Oh my gosh.
They're just gonna die.
Yeah, some people, it's the fear of, maybe the other person not liking them, the perception maybe.
People pleasing.
Different, people pleasing. But for me, it's definitely feeling guilty. And I'm just like, they're going to fall apart if I don't send them this $20. and they're fine. But then I send it over and I'm reading that resentment. I'm angry. I'm frustrated. I'm just like, why did I go against what I wanted to do?
Especially when I feel like with the relationship, sometimes it's a constant thing. Like it's one thing when someone asks for something once, but I feel like in relationship, once you don't set that boundary and that person keeps coming back and that resentment, that guilt, I feel like, although it's funny because you feel the guilt of like hurting someone. Whereas I feel the guilt of hurting myself.
Ooh.
I'm like, now I'm over here mad. Now I'm over here mad.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I get the wrong. I'm so sorry. So sorry. Okay. Gotcha.
Yes. I believe they say this is the 8 in sign language. So they're like, yeah.
I didn't even know that. Look at you putting me on
Reddit. Shout out to Reddit. But I think that it really just, for me, I just get so angry with myself, and I don't like being angry with myself. I don't like when I sit back and realize like, wow, this relationship, now I have resentment towards this person, or now I I don't have the capacity because I didn't respect myself.
Wow.
And it's no one else's responsibility to respect me. Now, in your relationships, you want people to see where you are, but also like being vulnerable. Like, part of being vulnerable and saying no, like that is setting boundaries. It's saying like, hey, like right now I don't have the capacity.
Yeah.
And you don't have to go in deep into detail. Depending on the relationship or the circumstance, you can if you feel like it. But sometimes no is
it's a complete sentence.
Yeah.
Yes. 100%.
You know, I just don't. And it doesn't have to be this drama.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think what helped me the most is realizing that people have the right to set boundaries with me. And after being on the receiving end of someone else setting boundaries with me, I'm like, wow, this is just love in action.
Really?
This is
that was your first
love.
thought? It was...
No, it was uncomfortable at first.
I was about to say, because I got a boundary. Someone set a boundary with me, and I'm just like, how dare you? Like, I went against my boundary for you, and you're going to sit there and set a boundary and stand on it? I'm sorry, what? You hate me.
No, it feels like that. It feels like that. But I think when you're talking about like healthy relationship, and once you flex that muscle enough and you've been in enough situations where, okay, my feelings are hurt because you just set this boundary with me and I don't feel like I deserve this. Like, but then it's like, who am I to feel like you don't have a right to teach me how to treat you?
Wow.
And once I'm on the receiving end of that enough times, I'm like, okay, well, I can operate that way as well, but like, be intentional.
Yes. Not
What's my heart posture?
Yes. Okay.
Am I being petty? Because sometimes that can be passive aggressive. Not even gonna lie. So, and I've had to work on that. So I will be like, okay, I'm gonna communicate that, hey, like, this kind of hurt my feelings, but I respect your journey. I respect, you know. And then I think that it really built stronger connections. Because it's easy to get along with someone when you never have an issue. When you're just like, oh, kiki, ha, ha, ha.
And you're accepting this person, and you have no boundaries. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's easy.
Yeah.
But when you set a boundary, I feel like that is a testament of true unconditional love.
It is love. Yeah. Because I love you enough to respect your boundary. When Alex's phone goes on Do Not Disturb at 10 o'clock, I'm like, okay, I understand. I respect your boundary and I love you enough. Or I had another friend who would set a boundary and she'd say, hey, can we connect? And she'd put me on a calendar. And I didn't understand it at first because I'm used to access, like instant access, until I met her, and she's just like, let's put this on the calendar. And I thought that was so respectful and kind, and I kind of want to start doing that as well with setting that boundary, because it shows that she feels like you can't have constant access to me, my energy, and it's okay.
And I love you still, because I'm setting aside this designated time to spend with you. Yeah. But you can't have all of me because I need some of me for myself. And that's the ultimate like showing of like just real self-love. And I think that when you're in community with people that love themselves, the relationship's easier anyway.
That's so good.
Because no one is looking for like codependence, looking for that validation. Like, you want your friends to love you, you want them to pour into you. But that should be a choice that they're making, not a choice that they're having to make because you keep pulling and tugging on.
This is good. We should do the next episode on friendship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The proximity and the friendships that you grew up with, and that's amazing. I love that. But when you were even talking about your boundaries, you were saying, you know, it was all coming from a place of self and like love, and just saying like, I love myself enough. And for me, I'm the complete opposite, where it's just like, what about that person? Because I'm such an empath, it's so hard for me to prioritize my self-love and my feelings. And so hearing you even speak that, and just having the authority or having the strength of courage and confidence to speak, no, this is something that I need this for me, makes me feel more encouraged to say, you know what, I need this from you too. I need to set this boundary. I don't have the capacity. I'm sorry. And it's okay. And I don't have to internalize your response to my no. To my boundary.
And letting that person know that, hey, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not ghosting you. I'm not. But it really comes down to communication at the end of the day. And that's how our relationships.
Caring about the other person to explain. Because some people would just be like, hard no. But to be, that's not compassionate.
Like, and it goes back to emotional maturity. Because I always say with boundaries, I actually love boundaries. You know, I think they are just the best thing ever. And the reason why is I always think of the analogy of rain and wearing a raincoat. So I'll break it down. So, you know, when it's raining, when you go outside, you put on a raincoat to protect yourself from the rain. Now, rain isn't inherently a bad thing. It's actually very beneficial. It keeps nature going. It helps with the cycle of life. But too much rain can make you sick, especially when you walk out in the rain and you don't have a coat on. So we put on raincoats to
Mm.
protect us.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I think of with boundaries with people is that when you're operating out in society and you're with your friends and things, you're dealing with people, and people aren't inherently bad. I would like to think that.
Yeah.
Okay. Especially the people that you choose in your life.
Yeah.
You don't want to see them as a villain or someone that's hurting you. You
Yeah.
want to be open-hearted in your relationships.
Mm-hmm.
But you also are putting on that raincoat just to protect yourself. It's a self-love thing.
Wow.
It's because you don't want to get sick. And when
Yeah.
you don't put on if you don't have boundaries and you just let all the rain come to you, you're asking to be sick.
Wow.
But then you look at the other person, like you don't go when it's raining and you go outside without a coat, you're not like, oh, that rain got me sick. It's like, oh, I should have worn a coat.
Yeah.
But it's easy to take accountability for things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But as humans, it's so easy, or depending on your level of accountability,
Yeah.
it's easy to be like, that person hurt me. And it's
That's
like,
my
no,
thing.
I
Yeah.
didn't protect myself.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And the little thing is just setting a boundary because that person isn't wrong. Because to be real, we're meant to lean on each other. Some people
we need that community.
Yeah.
It's all, yeah.
And it's a give and take. There are seasons where you're going to take and then seasons where you're going to give. And sometimes the people in your life, they're in their taking season. But you have to know.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, I never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's ebbs and flows. Like everyone is going through their own journey.
Yeah.
But you have to be aware of yourself and the people around you to know, okay, this person is in their taking season right now. And this is what I have to give. But if I give anything more than that,
I'm going to resent.
Yeah, I'm going to get sick.
Yeah,
so let me put my coat on.
Good.
This is my boundary. I don't have anything else outside of this. So that when I go out in the rain, when I hang out with that person, I'm not getting sick.
Yeah.
I'm not hurting myself. And that person is not getting sick either. Like they're good. We're kumbaya.
Yeah.
Because I've set my boundary.
Right. That's amazing. I love that. I think we should just leave it right there, honestly, because it just makes a lot of sense. And I think that, you know, when I hear it, it makes sense to me. Obviously, it's felt in my body when I set the boundary. It's more of a in that moment kind of feeling. But I think that because I like to understand, you help me to understand it. And I'm sure you've helped them, you know?
Yeah. Because it gets easier.
Yeah.
It's never just a breeze. Especially if you have a heart. Because although like I do love boundaries, there's always a discomfort. It's always like,
ooh,
like,
yeah.
I know this is going to hurt this person, or, you know.
Is it always that? Because some people, like I said, there's people that can just be like hard no. Do they all feel that discomfort?
I guess it depends. I can only speak for myself.
Okay,
I feel the discomfort, but honestly, it depends on the person too. If I'm dealing with someone that I know is emotionally mature and they've set boundaries with me in the past, and I know that they're going to be like, oh, Alex, like, this is good. We're good. Like, do what's best. Like, if I set a boundary with you, I feel like you wouldn't be resentful.
No, 100%.
But if I was talking to someone else,
I'd be like, I'm sorry, Alex hates my guts. I'm kidding. Yeah.
It just depends on the relationship.
Yeah.
There's other people, if I say no, especially when we think of family, it's like, oh, like, because there's usually like an indebtedness or sometimes just family structures are different where it's like, okay, if I say no, I know there's going to be an emotion, but understanding that emotion shouldn't stop me from doing what's best for me. And that's really it.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's, again, you putting yourself first.
Yes.
I lack that. I cannot. It's so difficult. Putting yourself, your emotions and what you need first.
Yeah.
And that's amazing. I would love to get there.
You will.
I will. For sure. I'm in that season now, though. Like I said, pruning and old habits. Not even pruning people per se, because I did think that I had to cut this person off in order for me to navigate. But now I'm learning, I could just set a boundary. That's easy.
Yeah.
I can, but it's not easy. I'm just saying. But that's better than cutting ties. Because some friends I've had obviously family, it's different. But some friends I've had for years, and it's just like, oh my God, how do I navigate this? Because I know that I knew before. So like growing up, and we can talk about this in the friendship, in another episode. But growing up, it felt like, these are my ride or dies.
Like
I went to
everything.
Brooklyn. Yeah, I'm from Brooklyn. Like I went to school in Brooklyn. Like my friends were my people to like for life.
Yeah.
And then it turns into, I have to tolerate certain behaviors and certain things. And well, they were tolerating things with me too. So then it turns into like when you get older, trauma bonding, quite literally. And then it's just like as you get older, you learn yourself.
Yeah.
You learn what you need.
Yeah. And you're not in a group setting anymore. I'm working on my own purpose. I'm on my own journey, and that requires a different version of me. And that's okay when you're pruning and when you're reshaping your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the pruning though is, like I said, is happening within myself as far as, peeling back certain childhood beliefs and conditionings, we called it.
Yeah.
As far as I couldn't do certain things, or I couldn't say no, or I couldn't draw that hard line in the sand and say, this is where I stop, And now that I can do that, it's just like, okay, well, I may not have to cut this person off. I can continue this relationship, but with this boundary in place.
Yes.
Yeah. It still makes me uncomfortable though, but we're working through it.
No, it will always, for you.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to speak that over your life, but just knowing you, it's going to always feel just a little sensitive. But in due time, the sensitivity will not outweigh your desire for boundaries.
I'm going to grow that muscle though.
You are.
It takes time. If you're in the gym and you're growing any muscle, you know that it's going to take time and effort and energy and intentionality.
Yes.
And I think that I can do that. Yes. Because I love myself and I love the people around me. So it's going to be, it's good.
It's a journey.
It's a journey.
And you're in the season now. So we'll check back in with her in a few months. We're not trying to put the weight on the world on your shoulders right now.
Yeah.
But that's another thing. Like a lot of times we carry so much tension in our neck and our shoulders. Your body will do it.
I have a lady that I see. Her name is Lily. She'll tell me like it's right here, and I'm just like, oh, Lily, I know. Just work it out for me, please. But
the weight of the world.
My shoulders are hunched. I'm just like super stressed out, and it's real. Yeah. It's real. And you'll feel it in your body first. Yes. A lot of the times, yeah.
So ladies, get your massage.
Please.
Deep breathe.
Hot stones.
Yes. And just make sure that you're taking care of yourself because we didn't even mention the statistic, but we saw that 81% of women struggle to set boundaries. Yeah. So if that is the case, like 75% of men.
Yes.
So in general, it's an issue.
Yeah.
And I think that if it's showing up in your body, tend to your body, but always go to the root and understand that it's deeper than just what you're feeling in your shoulders or as women, like in your ovaries, all those things and your hormones.
That's
so go deeper. And your body, your mind, your spirit, they will all thank you in the end.
I love that. Yeah. I think we can end there. Yeah. That's amazing. That's a great word. And I hope to see you guys next time. We'll definitely be here. I feel like this is going to be the start of, it's amazing.
A new beginning.
Yeah, a new beginning. And this is great.
We're excited.
We hope you guys enjoyed, and we'll see you in our next episode.
Yes.